in the Hauraki Gulf. We're sitting just off Rangitoto Lighthouse. Start line has been set up by the race committee. Top mark looking right across to the Takapuna side of the harbour. Going to be a totally different ball game out here and completely different conditions to what we've seen so far. So forget everything you've seen. This is all a new ball game. Meanwhile, we've been joined by Tommason Chieffi, the tactician aboard Azzurra, who are just actually fresh off a win over Emirates Team New Zealand in first of the first to two actually in the semi-finals. I'm not going to pepper our good friend Tommaso with questions about the race and looking forward. He's got too much on his mind. But it was a wonderful opportunity to have a chat with Tommaso about the next event over in your part of the world, Tommaso. La Maddalena. Tell us a little bit about the venue.
Yeah, La Maddalena is a small island in the archipelago just on the north side of Sardinia. It's a place where we do sail a lot of races, especially during Maxi World, Far 40, etc., etc. Has been used a lot as one of the islands to go around during the coastal races. Hasn't been a sailing venue so far because, you know, the yacht club is a small one, hasn't been hosting any big events so far, but because of the G8 that had to be sold last year in Italy and then was moved to L'Aquila due to the earthquake, they were doing new construction, new facilities, and therefore, you know, it's an occasion to go and visit this beautiful island, which is part, like I said, part of the archipelago, and we're going to use some of the race courses that we do normally use out of Porto Cervo.
Fantastic, fantastic. So plenty of deep water, no problem for these boats?
No, there is plenty of deep water. It's a very tall island. It's a lot of depth, actually. It's similar in a way to what we see here in the Auckland Harbour. And, you know, in a way, when I come here, my guys keep pulling me because one of the race courses, which is the Salina race course, which is one of the three possible courses we're going to use, is very similar to what we seen yesterday. The north head being called Punta Rossa, and the beach of the Mission Bay similar to the Salina beach. Therefore, in a way, the race course is not so tidal driven. We still do have tide, and it's similar condition. I mean, fairly decent breeze, moderate to fresh, and very flat seas.
So May the 8th, Don, you had those dates, didn't you, for the event?
May the 18th to June the 6th, Tommaso, and you say the breeze is kind of right, it's consistent there. That's near, what do they call that, Bomb Alley?
Yes, it is. It's called Mistral, then there are different ways. We should have, in the race courses that we have, a prevailing northwesterly wind, because we're up north towards the strait between Corsica and Sardinia. So I'm expecting that the prevailing wind could be northwest. We do also have southeast occasionally, but it's more rare, especially in those three race courses that the management has selected.
So temperature at that time of year, we're looking into May, early June. Is it still be fresh or be warming up?
Yeah, it will be warming up. In a way, Sardinia is a fresh place. It's very dry, but it's fresh. You don't get too much insulation, so it's going to be all right for all the Anglo-Saxon coming over to this. It's not going to be too hot.
Okay, and how? I mean, just put a Kiwi hat on. How does someone who wants to continue to watch the Louis Vuitton Trophy get there? How do you get into La Maddalena?
Well, it's a long way, as we know. Traveling the other way around is
Well, you do it. We have to do it too. That's more than fair.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, it's even for everyone.
Yeah. So
basically, you get to Italy somehow. You go either to Milan or to Rome, then fly to Olbia, and from Olbia either you can take a rib or a boat across to La Maddalena, or you drive to Palau, which is an hour away, and then you take a very little short ferry across. It's only 10-15 minutes. And you get there, should be very good facilities, everything sorted out. Like I said before, is a country which is actually it's got constant inhabitants there. It's not just a seaside resort. It's more of a town.
How big is the island? I mean, is it as big as Rangitoto or much bigger than Rangitoto?
I think she's similar to Rangitoto in a way. Yes, she's fairly similar to Rangitoto.
Okay. But permanent residence there. There's a town there, and
exactly. It is permanent residence. There are there is a club made, etc. for people coming to visit. There is a very good, famous sailing school which is called La Scuola Vela di Caprera, which is actually on the very little island right close to it. Anyways, it's a sailing site.
Yeah.
Many people go there to go sailing or to go diving.
Fishing?
And fishing, a lot of fishing. Yeah. So it's all...
You mentioned earlier that there used to be a US naval base. That up until quite recently?
Yes, it happened quite recently. I'm not sure about the status of the US naval base, but I do know that they were in the act of moving if they've not moved already.
Right.
Anyway, it's been used by the U.S. Navy for a long time. They kept their nuclear submarine there for a long time, and now they're in the process of moving away.
They don't have to keep an eye on you Italians anymore. They're comfortable. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, I think they're shifting more east as the day progresses.
I'm sure you're right.
Very exciting to have your Italian syndicates, 2 of them there, and so you should get big local support.
Yeah, for sure. You know, there was an event in 2005, I believe it was, or 2006 in Trapani.
Right.
And it was first hosted there in Italy, and the people which actually went and visited the base were huge numbers. I forgot the real number, but I think it was in excess of 300,000 people visiting over the 2 weeks period, which was a much bigger participation than any other regatta, any other venue we've been going to with the Louis Vuitton Trophy. Therefore, I'm expecting that being there in Sardinia is a bit far away from Italy, so you need to catch a plane or a ship to get there, but once you're there, we're there for good. We're there for 3 weeks, so I'm sure there will be lots of people coming to visit and, you know, watching up the races. Races should be fairly spectacular. I'm expecting a steady breeze every day. We shouldn't have day off for many reasons, so I think it should be good. I mean,
you're looking forward to
finger crossed. Yes.
Well, if it's anything like Trapani, which was just so well attended, I couldn't believe a little place there, and I thought hardly anyone's going to turn up. We were just inundated with people, weren't we? It was
well,
fantastic.
they closed the schools, I understand.
Yeah, just fantastic.
Yeah, that's very true.
We're listening to Tommason Chieffi, the tactician on Azzurra, fresh off a win against Team New Zealand in the first race of the semi-finals. And as an impartial commentator, I have to wish you all the very best for the next race, Tommaso. You certainly, loved the way you sailed in that first race. And it's tricky out there, though, isn't it?
It is very tricky. This is why, in a way, I personally like Auckland so much, because it does remind me a lot of the Italian water, the Mediterranean water. It's fresher. We got stronger breezes. A bit similar to what we do have in Sardinia, but even when it's fresh, it's still fluky. It's a lot of pots and holes in which you can stick your feet if you're not aware of it. And so you have to keep your eyes open, and this is the beauty of this place for sailing.
Is it just too easy to generalize and say that Europeans are good in the light and Kiwis and Aussies are good in the heavy? I mean, that's not the case anymore, is it? You sail in Mistral Alley.
Well, we do sail internationally, so we do attend every other regatta that any other crew does. So, for example, for Azzurra, it was partially true, especially in Nice, because it was the first time the group got to sail together after a long time. Actually, I'd never sailed with Checco Bruni before. I did sail with some of the crew which were part of the Plus 39 program initially. I did sail with some of them which were on other big boats recently, but as a group we never sailed together. So it does take time to oil the machine. We do respect in New Zealand. We know they've been sailing more than everybody else here, so we still put them as the favorite for the top spot, but, we'll give them as hard time as we possibly can.
I'm sure you will, and you're making it very entertaining for us, so thanks for that. That's Tommason Chieffi, tactician on Azzurra. All the very best for the next race, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.